It is rare for an individual to merit induction into the Eastern Athletic Hall of Fame based solely upon a 2-year career. A utility player in the baseball program in the early 1990s, Michael T. Susi is one of those rare individuals. Mike had a major impact on the baseball program after transferring to Eastern as a junior, batting .379, 10th highest all time, as a designated hitter and winning 10 games as a starting pitcher in 15 starts. Mike earned first-team All-New England recognition in each year and was a second-team ABCA All-America as a senior in 1993. Pitching with a fractured right wrist in the national tournament in the final start of his career, the right-hander submitted what is generally agreed upon as one of the most significant postseason pitching performances in program history. The 5'9" 185-pounder matched his career high with 11 strikeouts in a complete game, 6-hit, 1-0 win, handing Cal Lutheran its first shutout in 164 games.
Hello, my name is Tony Susi, and along with my brother John, we are here to speak on behalf of our brother Michael as he is inducted into the Eastern Connecticut State University Athletic Alumni Hall of Fame. Induction into this Hall of Fame is an honor that Mike has anxiously waited for a number of years. I'm not sure how to completely characterize Mike as a ball player, but I guess I would say that he was a competitor, someone who played hard and someone who wanted to win more than anything. And as many people know, he was quite successful at that.
My brother Michael and I will always be connected through baseball. As my older brother Anthony speaks of, Mike was much younger than us. So we got to have a chance in creating a baseball player who would someday make us all very proud of his accomplishments. And today's honor is the culmination of a lifetime of hard work. It's because of Mike that I am a baseball coach. Working with him when he was a youngster sparked my interest in the profession. I would rather take him to the park, hit him endless pop-ups or ground balls, and throw him batting practice than play a game myself. He was always willing and always wanted to improve. Mike has always had the drive and desire to be great. My brother Tony and I may have lit the fuse, but Mike did all the work. When he got to the age when he could begin lifting weights, we urged him to do so. To this day, even for an old man, he has an impressive build. Jokingly, I brag on how we are one of the best brother home run combinations in the history of Waterford High School. Mike hit 30, I had 1. Thanks, Mike.
Growing up, Mike won at every level. As a 12-year-old, his Little League team was undefeated. He was part of a state championship 13-year-old Babe Ruth All-Star team. As a 15-year-old, through his pitching, hitting, and hard play, he led his Babe Ruth team to a championship. While other teams in the league were loaded with all-stars, Mike's team had, to put it nicely, very average talent. During his summers, he was fortunate to be part of an outstanding New London American Legion program that won 3 straight zone championships and 1 state title while he was there. Mike played hard, and he played all the time. His final start on the mound as a Warrior in an elimination game at the College World Series has been well documented. On the plane to Battle Creek, Michigan, Mike's injured wrist became severely swollen, which prevented him from pitching the World Series opener. On the morning of the elimination game, he went to Coach Holowati and demanded the ball. And every inning he ran out of the dugout to the mound before Coach could ask him if he could keep going. He was not coming out of that game.
For Mike, all of his accomplishments would mean nothing if he could not share them with his family and friends. This is what is most important to him. He had the support of the best parents in the world who followed him coast to coast, never missing a game. He had the brothers' support who pushed him to be the best, in part so we could brag of his accomplishments. He could have taken many paths in baseball all over the country, but it is here in his home state and hometown where he wants to be surrounded by the people who love him and support him. For tonight's honor, I thank you on behalf of the people who love him, and it's the perfect ending to a great story.
His competitive attitude was very contagious. You put Joe Finaro and Mike Susi in the same dugout, okay, they don't accept losing.
Yeah, Mike and I came to Eastern the same year. I was a freshman, he was a junior. But the first time I ever heard the name Mike Susi was we were playing in the '89 Legion tournament. Hamden was playing New London in the state finals, and they were the team to beat. You know, they had some really good guys on that team. We had 11 guys, but one of them happened to be Scott Burrell. So he was kind of the cog in our wheel, and we came kind of in as the underdogs, and we played our game. But I do remember Mike, you know, being a short, stocky guy, really good player. You know, he threw hard and he hit really well. So I wasn't surprised to see him transition like that at Eastern.
Michael was a vicious competitor, and he loved those positions. And he functioned in them very well. Some kids don't function in those positions well, and he did.
Mike was a gamer. Mike would go at you with 100%. You know, he would on both sides of the field, whether it was on the mound or at the plate hitting. He never wanted to get beat, and he wasn't going to get beat. So he just grinded out. He was a gamer, and he was a competitor.
Well, Mike was a player that we needed to make us a national level team back in the 90s, and after we won it in 90, we had a lot of great ball players there, and a lot of those guys graduated and went on, and he came here and did a very, very nice job, and he made our team better by his pitching and by his hitting.
He's a great teammate, great guy. He's always joking around, but when it came time to strap it on and get in the game time station, he was very serious.
Mike pitched a key game in the regionals. Mike all year long led us in hitting, and he stood up at prime time.
Mike was the MVP his last year in the regionals. He had 4 RBIs with a home run against Brandeis from the plate, and then the next day he came back and pitched a 2-hitter against Dartmouth. I mean, that just goes to show you the type of player that Mike is. He does it from both sides of on both sides of the field, from the pitching and hitting. And then again in the World Series against Cal Lutheran, we won 1-0. He got into some trouble in that game, but worked himself out of it. You know, he walked the first 3 batters or 3 batters in the first inning, then struck the next 3 guys out to get out of the inning. And doing all that with a broken hand. I think he broke his hand sometime in between the regionals or not. And Mike pitched 3 consecutive complete games in his career, and they were the last 3 games that he's ever pitched. So I mean, just goes to show you when it came to crunch time, Mike was always there and lifted us up.
If it wasn't for Michael, we wouldn't have gone to the World Series. We certainly had Joe Finaro and other complementary ball players. But Mike gave you that different player that could hit and could be a primetime pitcher. And he did that for us.
At this time, I'd like to take great honor in presenting for induction into Eastern's Athletic Alumni Hall of Fame, our brother, Michael Susi.